Jonathan is a big mouth and he always gives people the cold shoulder. If you're confused, it's okay, because we're about to do a lesson on idioms. Hello everyone, my name is Ehab and this is English with Ehab. The video that we are going to do today is going to be about idioms. One of my favorite lessons that I like to do. And the topic is going to be idioms that are related to the body parts. Body or body parts. Now, idioms can be a little bit confusing because again, they use all these body parts, but they have nothing to do with the actual parts of the body. They have a different meaning. So what I'm going to do, again, there's going to be two parts to this video. The first part, I'm going to spend quite a bit of time going over the definitions. There are going to be six idioms. So I'm going to spend quite a bit of time going again over the definitions. I want to show you some examples. And then we're going to try another exercise a little bit later in the conclusion. So let's go ahead and get to the board where we can take a look at some examples. Okay, so on the board here are examples of 6 idioms with their definitions. The first thing I'm going to do is just pronounce them. And at home, you guys can follow along. So we have big mouth. We have cold shoulder. On hand. Heads will roll. Red-handed. Fight, tooth, and nail. So let's take a look at them one by one. The first one, big mouth. A big mouth is basically a person who talks too much. Now, you're probably asking me, is there anything wrong with talking? No, that's what I do in my YouTube videos. I talk all the time. But when we say a big mouth, it basically means a person who can't keep a secret. They kind of like to gossip, maybe. I don't know if you know. Gossip means you keep talking about people. So sometimes it's okay if you're having maybe a private conversation. But again, if I have a secret, I'm not going to tell it to somebody who's a big mouth because they're not going to keep it secret anymore. So the example, don't tell Tom my secret. He's a big mouth. A big mouth. Cold shoulder. Cold shoulder basically means to treat somebody with scorn. When we say scorn, it kind of means disrespect. Now, for example, let's say that somebody is saying hi to me. If I give them the cold shoulder, then I don't look at them. I kind of ignore them. Now, there could be reasons why you're going to give somebody the cold shoulder. Maybe you are angry with them. Maybe you don't like them. Maybe there's some kind of problem. But that's basically what it means. So the example that I have on the board. After Steve told Sarah that she was unattractive. Unattractive means not pretty, not beautiful. She gave him the cold shoulder for weeks and wouldn't talk to him. That means Steve tried to talk to Sarah, tried to say hi, and again, she gave him the cold shoulder. She just ignored him. On hand. A lot of times you are going to maybe hear restaurants say this. Maybe some stores might say this. This is an example. Let's say that you are in a restaurant and you want the cook to make something for you. So let's say I'm the cook, but I don't have the material or the ingredients. I'm sorry, I can't make your meal because I don't have the ingredients on hand. When we say on hand, it means present. It means available. It means close by. Heads will roll. Heads will roll is an idiom which basically means people will be fired. For example, all the workers come late. When I say come late, it means come late to work. And again, this is bad because companies want workers who are going to be there on time and to be there and be responsible. So all the workers come late. They need to be on time or heads will roll, which basically means the workers are going to be fired. Red-handed. Red-handed basically means doing something wrong or doing something illegal. For example, I caught John taking my wallet without telling me. I caught him red-handed. When you catch somebody doing something, that means you see them and they are doing something bad. They are doing something wrong. They are doing something illegal. So, if John is taking my wallet without my permission, obviously that's something red-handed. Fight tooth and nail. It means fight very hard for something. But when I say fight, I don't really mean physical. It can be physical. But it also means to compete for something. For example, Sarah and Lisa are interviewing for the same job. Both really want the position. They will fight tooth and nail for it. So what does that mean? That basically means they are going to be very, very competitive to try to get the job because both of them, Sarah and Lisa, want that particular position. So when we say fight, when we say fight tooth and nail, it could mean physical fight. It could mean competition. A lot of times we use this expression in sports. When we have two teams and they both really want to win, they're both going to play very, very hard. And a lot of times we hear this expression while we are watching a game or some competition on television. I hear this all the time. Both teams are fighting tooth and nail. All right, let's go ahead and get to the conclusion and we'll see what we've learned. Okay, on the board right here we have 6 sentences, and on top of the sentences we have the idioms which we discussed today. So we have fight tooth and nail, we have big mouth, red-handed, on hand, cold shoulder, and heads will roll. I'm gonna go one by one, and you guys at home try to figure out how do we complete these sentences with these idioms. Number 1, you need to go to another store to buy a bicycle because this store doesn't have any. What do you think? Which one? On hand. Remember, if something is on hand, it is available. It is right there. So if you are in the store and there are no bicycles on hand and you want to buy a bicycle, you're gonna have to go to a different store. All right, let's take a look at number 2. Those two, not workers. Those 2 workers were very rude to customers. When you are rude, it means you are not nice. If they keep doing that, blank. So again, when you have workers and they're not doing their job or they are disrespectful, heads will roll. It means that they are going to be fired. Number 3, what's wrong with Tom? I always say hi to him, but he doesn't say anything to me and just gives me cold shoulder. So remember, when you give somebody the cold shoulder, kind of ignore them. You don't say anything to them. And usually it means because you are upset with them. 4, both classes, let's say we have 2 classes at a school and there's some big contest or competition. Both classes want to win the contest and will fight tooth and nail. The person was arrested when security caught him blank stealing clothes. Should be red-handed. Remember, if somebody catches you red-handed, you're doing something bad, you're doing something illegal, you're doing something wrong. And then the last one, number 6, John is a blank and never stops talking. It should be big mouth. Big mouth, always talking. I hope you guys learned something today and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you guys can please subscribe and like, I would appreciate it very much. Until next time, keep speaking English. Bye-bye.